Peace, family. Concha Queen here. And in this segment, and a lot of my subscribers been, asking me to talk about this. This is just getting out of hand, y'all. Like, we are going to be talking about this whole scam with the ancestry. Everybody come from, the ancestry, who their great great grandma was, who their great uncle was, where do they come from, what tribe do they originate from, and and I'm just noticing that it's a big, you feel me? Ashe, ashe, ashe. And shout out to Toshi Carlito. He actually gave me the idea to do this because Toshi had hit me up or whatever a little while ago asking me about the ancestry DNA. He was like, "Oh, look at this." Like, he showed me the prices and stuff like that. And I'm like, "Honey, don't do it. It's a scam." Like, it's a scam, honey. Do not do the ancestry DNA. And a lot of people that already done it is kind of panicking, but don't worry, we're going to get into the can do if you already took the DNA, if you already giving your samples out and all of that stuff, right? So anyway, we are live right now. What's up, family? Peace, peace, peace. Anybody new in the building? Ashe, welcome to my channel. And to all of my loyal subscribers, I see some familiar names up in here and some familiar faces. Ashe. What's up, G Black moderators in the building? All right, Ashe. J Too Funny up in the building. Ethan Walker. Peace, Gold Fire. Ashe. Donetta Folk, Ashe, Ashe, Heart of Gold, Paris, Ashe, Brooke Jimerson, Gina Burton, all right, Louis Aponte, all right, family. Now listen, moderators, peace, peace, peace. Everybody's up in the building. What's up, Mimi? I haven't seen you in a while, boo. Mind, body, and soul, Carla, Ashe. All right, family. So listen, and if you haven't already, if you're new to my channel, peace, what's up? I am Concha Queen. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, family. If you are tuning in and show your support, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so that you'll always be notified when we do our live segment so you can join in on the chat, right? Because I'm going to be, this is a live conversation, very interactive. I'm going to be answering some questions, and it's just going to be very interactive. So feel free to drop your comments, your suggestions, your ideas, or questions in the comment section in the live, so that way, we can both interact with each other. You feel me? So anyway, let's get some more likes before we jump into the segment. We got something 150 people up in that building. Let's hit that thumbs up button, smash that like button so we can get started. If y'all ready to hear more details on this DNA scam, whoo, y'all, it's gonna be a hot topic because I got receipts, honey. And y'all always know I come with receipts. All of this is not just some hocus pocus. Like, there were actually some articles out there like dispelling a lot of these false. Listen, whew, I I wrote stuff down because, like, I'm like, nah, I want to make sure I don't miss anything. And I'm gonna give y'all some it's glitching? Oh no. Oh no, it's glitching. You know why? I tell you, every time I'm talking about like conspiracies or like really controversial topics like this, they always glitch my video. It starts freezing, it starts acting up, it starts skipping. Just let me know when it's skipping or glitching so that way I know to repeat myself or to go back. Okay, family? Because I really want y'all to get this information so that way you guys can be aware and you can share this with your loved ones so that they can also know how to protect themselves from these thieves out here. And I'm going to tell y'all why they're thieves, because they are stealing your DNA. They're stealing your DNA and your genetic makeup. Do you know what somebody can do with your DNA? We're not even talking about brujeria. Like, let somebody get a piece of your hair, they'll fuck your whole life up. But we talking about you sending your whole genetic makeup to like some random agencies that can do whatever they want to y'all, clone y'all, run tests on y'all, like do mad stuff. And yes, I do believe in clones, y'all. I do believe in clones. So like I always say, if you're new to my channel, this is a channel where I always tell people to come in with an empty cup and an open mind, because you cannot learn new information if you already have this state of mind that you know everything. Because remember, the fool thinks that he knows everything and the wise man knows that he knows nothing at all. You feel me? So just come with it so that way we can discuss, not debate. We are discussing like adults, right? And we're gonna learn and we're gonna grow up, because that's what. So let's get at least 150 likes up in here, family, so we could get started. All right, we have 5 minutes in, so come on. Love, family moderators, let them know. Come and subscribe and so we can get started. We can get way more likes than that, y'all. Come on. If you want to know how to find the like button, because some people are using their mobile phones, what I need you to do is hit that X on the right hand side of your screen so that way you can close out the chat and you can see the thumbs up button and the subscribe button. Okay, and make sure you hit that bell. So that is how you thumbs up. Hit the X and hit that thumbs up, and we can get started on this video because it's going to be very interesting, a very interesting topic. And y'all got homework to do because I want y'all not to just take my word for it, but I want you to do your own research. Always research what you learn. Find out where these YouTubers are getting their information from because there's a lot of YouTubers out here that are agents that are misinforming you purposefully. Shaquana Armstrong says, so someone came to the live just to click the thumbs down button. Beloved, listen, you got to realize a lot of the way that certain keywords, certain hashtags, certain words create glitches, and it also creates certain bots that are sent to certain channels, certain videos to purposefully thumbs down the chat room to shut it down, right? Like that's all part of the agenda, and I'm probably going to have to do a video on that for other YouTubers that's out there to help you to protect your channel because channels are being deleted out here and being targeted. So but yeah, so all right, peace family. All right, we got 100. We have 100 likes right now. Peace, everybody that's coming up to the building. What's up, to Wanda? All right, ashe, ashe, ashe. All right, moderators. So I'm just going to need you to be on your peak. Forget to tell everybody too, as I am going into the discussion, because I don't want to have to keep stopping. You feel me? Like I'm going to be interacting with everybody, but ashe. All right, peace family. So first of all, what we're going to be getting into, oh, peace. Thank you, Erica Davis. Thank you, peace. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate you, love. I appreciate you. Now, first things first, we're going to get into, well, can y'all hear me good? Because y'all was saying that it was glitching. Peace, Toshi. Toshi, one of the moderators. Toshi, I was just talking about you, love. I was saying how you actually inspired me to do this video on the Ancestry scam because a lot of people don't feel like about what's really behind the sinister plan of the Ancestry DNA test. Okay. Ashe, and some of y'all probably know some of this information. Some people do not. Some people are, oblivious to the fact, but we're going to get into that. Now, I don't want to ramble, so let's just, all right, family. So hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Now, in this segment, we're going to be talking about the DNA tests, right? What are these DNA tests? So have y'all realized that a lot of these celebrities and a lot of like mainstream media has been pushing these DNA tests, celebrities talking about, oh yeah, I took the DNA test and I found out that I have Cherokee in my family. I found out that I come from Senegalese, my family is from Senegalese, and I found out that I have some Egyptian, and my grandmother, my great great grandma was Irish, and she used to be a princess, like all of this stuff. So, in my mind, I used to always wonder, how can a DNA test track where, since, history, human beings were known to migrate and travel, mixing and mingling with each other. Right. So I feel like I always had like my eyebrow raised at that, like, something don't really seem right about that. You feel me? Something seems a little bit off with that. Still, uh-oh. Everybody's saying that it's glitching. Hold on, let me see if I could do something. Me. I doubt it because, I'm gonna just try to use it off my regular cellular data and see. Now, let me know if it's getting better. It's lagging. All right, look, I'm gonna go anyway. Listen. Um, the truth shall be revealed. You feel me? No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Ashe. So basically, this DNA test, um, is it still glitching, family? It's better. It's getting better. Good. Okay. Okay. It's better. Ashe, ashe. Thank you, family. See, this is why I love y'all because y'all always let me know what's going on. And y'all not going to make me do a whole freaking live and the whole thing is glitching. So if y'all haven't heard me already, just a quick little synopsis to repeat myself. I was basically saying that this video is going to be discussing about the whole DNA scam and why you guys need to be aware and need to tell your family and friends about what's really going on, the true sinister scam It's a scam behind this whole agenda. Now, if y'all haven't already realized, there's a lot of celebrities and mainstream, artists and stuff like that that's pushing this DNA test. And y'all ever wonder, do y'all ever realize the type of people that y'all see that's being targeted? We're going to get into that. But listen, I have some notes. I wrote down some notes. Y'all have some homework because I'm going to give y'all some homework because I want y'all to research yourself. You feel me? Y'all need to start questioning these YouTubers and asking them when they get their resources from, because some of them be pulling this shit straight out of their ass and they be misinforming y'all. And these are agents that are misinforming y'all, telling y'all to do these DNA tests. Now, anyway, we're not even going to get into that because I got a whole video I already posted up on about these YouTube scammers. Now, boom, I have points that I'm going to go through and I want y'all to follow along. Okay, family? Now, look, never take the DNA test. And here's why. First of all, point number one, your DNA is your entire genetic makeup. Now, all of my brujas and brujos in the building, if you already subscribe to my channel, you already know what you can do with somebody's hair, with somebody's saliva, with somebody's DNA, whatever it is from their body. You already know what time it is. You feel me? Like, you can do a lot magically to somebody with just their hair. You feel me? So, what do you think that these scientists are doing with your genetic makeup? Do you realize that when you do these swabs, when you give your blood, when you donating your genetic code and you're giving it away to God knows who, you don't know what happens once you give that stuff away, once you mail it to these labs, you're never going to see that again. You don't know who they're sharing this information with. And I'm going to give y'all the codes and all of that. Ooh, it's going to get deep. Let me take a step back because sometimes I get way ahead of myself, but it's going to get really deep, y'all. So I'm going to ease y'all into it, okay? Okay. Now y'all already know my channel. I'm taking y'all to university level. We're not doing that elementary stuff. Like, I want y'all to really catch up to speed and know what's really going on and what these people really have planned for y'all, okay? Now, boom, your DNA is your entire genetic makeup. Any type of mutation, special ability that you have, you already know that they can track this and they can look at all of this. And not only that, but do you know that once you send them your DNA makeup, whether it's like your spit, your saliva, the little swab sticks, that they make a digital record of it, which means that they can continually replicate it, right? So you could be like, listen, I want y'all to throw my DNA away. And they'll be like, okay, sure, we'll throw it away. We'll throw out the swab that you gave us away. But that doesn't mean that they're going to throw away what they already recorded on file digitally. Like, we already know how computers work. Anybody into like computer technology or computer tech, like, you already know that once something's in the system, it never really gets deleted. It's always there in cyber world. You feel me? So you got to keep that in mind. They're going to have your DNA makeup always on track, right? On record. Now, that's point number one. You got to realize that your DNA is essentially everything that you are that makes you uniquely you. Even twins don't have the same genetic makeup. So that lets you know that is your imprint in the whole entire universe, right? In all dimensions. Now, the third point that I want to make is this. Do you know what that they can do with your DNA? Okay. Not only just magically, because we already know that a lot of these politicians and, higher ups in society, they're already into the occult. So if you already know that they're into occult, they're into magic, they're into sorcery and stuff like that, which has already been proven, y'all research Bohemian Grove. Okay. Research Bohemian Grove and all of these little secret societies that they have. And, the higher societies, right? The higher class societies, you will realize that a lot of your doctors, your lawyers, these judges, the politicians, all of that is into the occult, right? All right. Now, the second thing is once they have your DNA, once these labs get your DNA, they can share it with third parties. Now, a lot of these agencies, they'll be like, oh, no, we believe in protecting your privacy and we won't share your information with anyone. But that doesn't mean that they have to really abide by what they say. And then 9 times out of 10, most of y'all don't even read the terms of agreements because it'd be like 10,000 pages. So most people, when they see the terms of agreement, nobody read that crap. Most people just skip it and click I accept. You don't know what you're accepting. You don't know what you're accepting. And even if you're accepted, even if you read the whole thing, they know how to mix in words and stuff in a contract that will confuse you. You're better off not even doing the thing at all. Okay. Now what they'll do is they can share your DNA, because I looked this up. They have the right to share your DNA with employers, with the police, the law enforcement, and other government agencies can have access to your genetic makeup, your genetic information, your DNA, right? Because let's say, for instance, uh there has been, let's say there's a crime scene, right, and somebody wants to set you up. Let's say that you're like a political activist, or like you're doing something that goes against the government, you're a threat to society. They got your DNA makeup. They could put your freaking DNA somewhere in a crime scene and say, oh yeah, this is her. Oh well, if it wasn't you, then how come your DNA is at the crime scene? How was your DNA at the crime scene? And you know damn well you wasn't there. You could have an alibi and everything, but if they got your DNA, baby, it's hard to say that it wasn't you. Okay, and Taya Shantae, yes, we're gonna get into Henrietta Lacks, boo boo. We're gonna get into that, okay? Cause that story right there is crazy. Spinks, how you gonna just sit on top of my book while I'm reading? Excuse me. Why do cats do that? Stop. Okay, now they can share information with the government agencies and all of that. And we already know that our government can't really be trusted like that, y'all. Like, come on, like, let's be real. Let's be real. Like, they're doing like cloning and all types of stuff. Like, the government is not. Whew, we're not going to get into that. Now, boom. Another thing that they can do besides placing crime scene placement, right? Besides setting you up on a crime scene, right? Like a murder scene, whatever, setting you up because they already have your DNA. Another thing that they can do is create antidotes with your DNA. Think about Henrietta Lacks. Now, if y'all don't already know who Henrietta Lacks is, Henrietta Lacks was a African American woman who the medical researchers took her DNA, took her cells without her family or her approval. And what they did was they did a lot of scientific research with her DNA, and they found out that she had a special type of mutation in her genes that replicated faster than others. Like they was doing some scientific research forever, like to figure out a vaccine for polio. And a lot of the vaccines that we have today is because of Henrietta Lacks. Like she created, using her DNA, she created like antidotes to a lot of the illnesses that we have today, like cancer and HIV and a lot of stuff. Like a lot of these medicines that they have today is because of Henrietta Lacks. And the sad part is her family did not give consent to these labs or these medical researchers to do that. And they didn't even know. They didn't have no permission. They didn't know anything. Like they found out because the lady had published it in a book, and that was the only way that they found out. And then on top of that, they're not getting no money. So the pharmaceutical companies is making millions, no, billions of dollars off of Henrietta Lacks, African American woman, and her family never saw a piece of the pie to this day. So don't you realize that after Henrietta Lacks, after that whole situation with Henrietta Lacks, they started to do more research. They started to say, what is it about the African American genetic makeup that makes them less susceptible to certain diseases? What is it about the African American genetic makeup that makes their skin age slower than other less melanated beings? What is it about the African genetic makeup? So they said, you know what, we can't just go around because they realized that people started finding out about what they was doing with Henrietta Lacks. So they had to create a clever way of getting genetic makeup of certain people to test on them. And hence Ancestry, DNA tests, home tests were born. Right? So now it's like you guys are just giving away your consent to, oh yeah, here, take my DNA, do whatever you want with it. Because people don't care about that. People don't care. Like, they just want to know where they come from, who ancestry they come from, who their great, great, great grandma was. Because, like, it's sad because a lot of melanated people, a lot of African Americans or indigenous people, I like to use the term indigenous, don't know where they come from because, like, a lot of stuff has happened in history. A lot of stuff has happened. So, a lot of our history was erased. A lot of the books in Alexandria was destroyed. A lot of the ancient knowledge was, taken away because a lot of the history was passed down orally and a lot of the elders were killed. Right? So we don't have a lot of that information. We were told who we were. And so, of course, a lost people want to know where they come from. So what do? You create the problem, you propose a solution. Oh, hey, you listen, we know that you don't know where you come from. So we're going to create these ancestral DNA kits that you can take at home, send them to the lab, and in about a week or so, we'll tell you where you come from. Okay. So it gets really deep, baby, and we just getting started. Ha! We just getting started, family. We have almost 300 and something people up in the building. Don't forget to smash that like button. And Ashe, and thank you to everybody who's donating. I definitely appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you. Ashe, 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 Ashe. Now, so Henrietta Lacks, and listen, I got a few notes on that. Now, not only that, let me see. Oh, I gotta tell you about this part because I took notes, y'all. I took notes. I told y'all I got receipts. Y'all could check this out for yourself. Not only was Henrietta Lacks' cells harvested without her or her family's consent, but did you know that Henrietta Lacks' family was being solicited with mad mail? Like they was getting a whole bunch of mail from like medical research labs and doctors and scientists asking them for blood samples. So at first, they kind of was like, this is kind of strange. You know what I'm saying? Like, why all these different agencies is asking us for blood samples? Now, the funny thing is, a lot of my subscribers was telling me, not a lot, but a few of my subscribers email me and telling me like, Contra Queen, it's really weird, but like I've been getting a lot of like requests for like blood samples. Like I gave my blood already. I went to the doctor. I got some blood work done. Maybe they had to go like for like, sometimes like when you got to work at a job, you got to get cleared. Like if you're working in the medical field, you got to get cleared. Make sure you don't got nothing or whatever. And then they was like, oh, we need more blood. And she's like, why you need more blood? I just gave y'all mad blood. Like they was like, oh, you need to come in because we need to take another sample. We need more samples. And she said she felt kind of odd about that because they took a lot of tubes of her blood for different tests. So how do you need more blood than that? And my thing is this, y'all. I'm the type of person that I overanalyze a lot of situations. Like I analyze everything. If they can go on a crime scene and they can find out like who did the crime, what time they did the crime and everything with just a drop of blood, why do they need a whole pint of blood from us to do a test? Like, don't anybody ever wonder, like, why they need all of that blood? Where does all of that blood go? Like my grandmother, she made a joke about it. She's like, yeah, y'all taking all of my blood and y'all feeding it to the vampire in the basement. And she always used to make that joke. But now that I think about it in retrospect, after watching certain movies like Midnight Meat Train, write that down, y'all, because I want y'all to see this movie. It's called Midnight Meat Train. MEAT. Midnight Meat Train. Watch that. That movie is about beings that live under the subways underground that are not human, that actually eat human parts and blood and stuff like that, and the government knows about it. Research, check that movie out, Midnight Meat Train. They should have like a free link online, right? So pretty much the family, Henrietta Lacks' family was being bombarded with a whole bunch of like, solicited mails talking about, hey, we need blood samples, because what happened was they realized that Henrietta Lacks had some type of superior type of genetic makeup they've never seen ever. All of their research, like years and years of research, they never seen nothing like this before. So they're like, all right, we got to get samples from all her family members and figure out, how come she has this genetic makeup? Who is she? What is it about them? And then the family just kept denying it, and that was one of the huge red flags that something wasn't right. So if y'all are getting bombarded with a whole bunch of like letters in the mail from your doctor or whatever saying, hey, it's time for you to come in and get a blood checkup. Hey, we seem to have lost your blood sample. Can you come in for some more? Like I really want y'all to be, and I don't want y'all to say, Contra Queen, you're bugging, Contra Queen, you're overthinking this. Like I'm telling y'all, there's no such thing as coincidences. And like it's a reason why they're asking you for more blood. And I always tell y'all how I feel like certain people have certain bloodlines that go a little further back and that are a little extra unique. And I'm talking about the Nephilim blood. Like they always say, oh, blood of the gods, right? The Nephilim, the Anunnaki blood. Like these things are real. All of the myths and stories that they talk about in history about how gods came down to earth and made it with the women, and made demigods. Like y'all think this is just pulled out of the ass? Like these myths are based on true stories, but it sounds so fanatic and crazy because they've taught you, society has taught you to, be like, oh, that's crazy. You feel me? That don't make any sense. And if you talk like that to people, they'll just automatically write you off as having mental problems. But the truth of the matter is, fact is stranger than fiction. These sci-fi movies that y'all be seeing is facts. A lot of these are documentaries. Mimi says myths are true. Facts. Ashe. So y'all got to be careful with donating blood. You feel me? Like when I was in school, I always remember like they would always have these blood donor trucks like right outside of the hood, like right outside of certain like public schools. I'm like, why are they targeting us to take all of our blood? Like what are y'all like? Damn, you know what I'm saying? They got to take I think like a pint of blood, and that's a lot of blood, y'all. That's a lot to donate. Like you don't know where that blood is going, you know, and you have no rights to track it either. And that's not the crazy part. Right? So, hold on, I wrote this down. Okay, so boom. There was a case in 1990. It's called Moore versus Regents of the University of California, right? In 1990, there was a statement like basically this says that a person discarded tissue and cells are not their property and can be commercialized. So when these agencies, these ancestry DNA tests and agencies and labs tell you, oh no, we would never share your DNA with the third party. We would never do that. Your privacy, we respect your privacy is bullshit because there's a law right here that you guys can research. Okay, based on that court based on that court order that said a person's discarded tissue and cells are not their property and can be commercialized. So that means that ladies, if you ever had an abortion and you had an abortion, they'll take that fetus and they'll send that to the labs. You think they just be flushing that down the toilet? No, they keep that. Ladies, when y'all give birth in a hospital and they keep your placenta, you think they throwing that away? No, they keep that. That's why I always tell my brujas or whatever, I'd be like, yo, if you give birth, keep your placenta. My homegirl, yo, she told me, she was like, once she had her son in the hospital, she didn't want to have her son in the hospital, but she ended up having to have him a little bit early. So they rushed her to the hospital. She had her son, and the doctors was literally fighting her, saying that you can't keep your placenta. They was really trying to keep her placenta, and she was fighting tooth and nail, like, no, this is mine. I gave birth to this baby. I pushed him out of my cooch. I'm keeping my placenta too. Like, is you bugging? Like, how you gonna fight somebody for their placenta? And this is real, ladies. Like, y'all, that's your placenta. You worked hard. You went through all those hours of labor. You keep your damn placenta. Because they will take that placenta and they will do some stuff with it. I'm telling y'all. Right? That's your baby's DNA. That's your DNA. Like, they could do a lot with that placenta, y'all. Real talk. Look it up. Look it up. Right? So, all right, boom. Now that y'all check that out, that's called Moore versus Regents of the University of California in 1990. Right? Check that out. Now, hold on. What is that? Sometimes, when you're writing so fast, you don't understand your own handwriting. Because I wrote down notes and I don't want to miss this stuff. And I hope y'all writing stuff down because, like I always told y'all, class is in session. Like, these are not just rambles, lectures, debates. Like, this is actually class in session. And y'all supposed to be writing down notes because a lot of information. And I want y'all to write this down. Shadow, good point. Shadow says hospitals are death camps. Whew, it's sad. And that's a whole nother segment. But anybody that is most most black melanated people are afraid to go to hospitals because a lot of these hospitals are set up to there's like a black market. That's a whole nother segment though. But anybody from New York know about Woodhull Hospital? They call it Killer Hall, right? Because like you go in for like a cough or something and you end up like dying and it just be really random. Like a person will just go in for a cold and they'll end up dead and nobody understands why. You feel me? And I know this for a fact because I actually had a very close relative that died because of they went to Woodhull. They went in, they was fine and they were supposed to get discharged and yeah, they didn't leave alive. So that's a really touchy topic for me, but the only reason why I'm speaking about this is because like I only speak about things that I know for a fact, things that I've experienced. You feel me? So yeah, y'all gotta be careful with like certain hospitals and stuff like that. That literally kill you on purpose to harvest your organs, to harvest your DNA, especially if they realize that you have something special about your genetic makeup. Okay? Now, where are we? So yeah, be careful, be cautious with your placenta, be cautious with your blood work, and also, when you have abortions, ladies, and I'm not saying I'm against abortion, I'm not saying I'm for abortions, we're not doing that debate right here, because people like to debate. Only thing I'm saying is that if you do get an abortion, you feel me, if you choose to do that for whatever reason, ask them, can you keep the fetus? Now, it may sound crazy, but I feel like it's yours, right? It's yours. What else are they gonna do with it? You feel me? Now, there's a specific DNA agency that I want you guys to look up because this is actually a funny story, but it actually really happened. Now, there's a DNA agency that's called Origin, right? But they're spelled ORIG, the number 3N, right? But Origin was actually caught in a scam because what happened was there was one of those people who want to like debate and really test to see if the agency is true or not. So pretty much what they did was they took the DNA test, the at-home DNA test, and instead of using a human, they used a dog, right? I think his name was Bernus or something like that. Y'all gotta check this out for yourself. Research Ancestry DNA test dog scam, right? So pretty much they tested the dog and they sent the labs to they swabbed the dog's mouth, they sent it to the lab, not saying that it was a dog, and then the origin has sent them back the lab saying that where the dog came from. The dog had Cherokee in him and he had some Irish in him, and that the dog's strength level was the amount of an Olympian. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, it was a scam. So that's how they caught Origin in a lie. And like I'm like, yo, that goes to show that this whole DNA stuff is crap. How they gonna say a dog is mixed with Irish and Cherokee and like Italian and all of that? Like, how? So they got exposed. And then once they got exposed and the media contacted them like, you got any comments on this? They never responded. So that's another red flag. So y'all think that Origin is the only person that got caught out there? A lot of other agencies are just wiser and smarter. You feel me? So now they're getting more clever. Now they're getting more hip to the game because more people are waking up and more people are exposing them. Y'all got to be careful when y'all give away your DNA. Y'all giving away your whole freaking makeup. And even the ancestors said that all of our knowledge, the information of our ancestors, all of that, how we built the pyramids, how we did all of this magnificent stuff is in our DNA. Our ancestors are inside of us. You feel me? Real talk. Real talk. So yeah, so that's another thing I need to look into was that scam with the dog because I thought that was actually really interesting, right? Now, another thing that I find interesting is the fact that they push this DNA test on indigenous people a lot. Like at first, I didn't really think nothing of it because I always thought like something was odd about it. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was younger, y'all remember when that I think they really started pushing the DNA thing when Roots came out, like the original Roots, not the remake, but the original Roots came out. I was young, y'all. Like I forgot how old it was, but all I know, I think I was still in like elementary school. Roots came out, and Roots was like one of those like really interesting shows. Like all black people came together, even like white people, black people, different types of people, all in America just came together and like sat down to watch Roots. And it was really talking about like what the African Sankofa, like the whole slavery and Atlantic slave trade really happened, even though I feel like we were here before the Atlantic slave trade. Like that's a whole nother topic. I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, pretty much when Roots came out, do you realize I think the maker of Roots actually started to push the whole ancestry DNA thing. Like, oh look, you can, take this home test, you could take this DNA test, which then it used to cost more because it was more new. They was pushing it then, as far as I can remember. I was young at the time, but I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. You could find out where you come from a swab. But then me being the curious kid that I was, I'm just kind of like, well, how can they do that? Like, I don't know if it's because my Venus is in Gemini and my mind is always thinking, you feel me? I'm like, I don't know. Like I overanalyze a lot of things. I'm like, that don't seem right. How can they do that? Like I always want to know how things work. So I just like looked over it, but now, years later, they're pushing it even more. So they've been pushing it since Roots. And the reason why I feel like they're pushing it towards those indigenous people is because they're like, look, watch this show called Roots. You realize that slavery happens. You don't know where you come from. You are a lost people. And now you need to take this DNA test so you can figure out where you come from so you can feel complete and whole again. Because if you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going. Hello? I mean, are y'all with me? Like it's this conspiracy, this whole agenda has been going on for years, and this is the funny thing. You see, they're playing chess Some of y'all are playing checkers, and this is why they like running in circles around y'all, because y'all don't even realize that this has been planned out for years. Like, to take over the world, to take over a people, to brainwash a people isn't something that just happens, overnight, in a couple of months, a couple of years. Like, this is generations, decades of work and study, centuries. Okay. So it gets really deep. And and not only that, but I feel like, honestly, the reason why they're pushing it more so on indigenous people, and a lot of the commercials, you see a lot of indigenous people, even like the ads on websites, you'll see a lot of like indigenous people that's like the face of these ancestry DNA ads. You'll notice, I feel like they're pushing that more so because they realize that Henrietta Lacks was the African American indigenous woman. So they're like, you know what, let's get more indigenous people to send their information, because we got to realize that, they realize that there's something that was genetically different about them. Like, everybody has their own genome makeup. You know, I'm no science major, but I always had like a liking for science, because I like how things work and how, people operate, how people think, like stuff like that. So, scientists, pretty much with a DNA test, everybody's DNA makeup is different. It's always a small mutation, dominant genes, recessive genes, all of that. And scientists realize that, you know what? They realized a pattern. It's like, you know what, let's just push this more on indigenous people and figure out what it is about their genetic makeup that makes their genes different from everybody else's. And I got to give my mom a shout out for this, because she actually gave me this idea, because a lot of the times I'll be talking to my mom about these, I hate to say conspiracy theories, but these controversial topics. And so she was like, you know what? She was like, I think that they're pushing these DNA tests on a lot of indigenous black people. She was like, because they're using our genes and stuff for like their cosmetics, because they want their skin to age slower. And I was like, what? Like, my mom be channeling, y'all. I be telling her, she be channeling. She was like, yeah. She was like, I think that, they probably want to know how, like, why certain, dark skinned people's skin ages way slower than people who are not dark skinned, people who are less melanated. So I'm like, yo, that's a really dope idea. Like, what if they're really harvesting our DNA makeup and stuff for like cosmetic reasons too? You feel me? Like, a lot of these cosmetic ingredients and stuff like that. What movie was it? Jupiter Ascending. I want y'all to watch this movie, Jupiter Ascending. Really excellent movie. There's a scene where you see them harvesting like this black stuff out of like dark skinned people, and basically they're harvesting this stuff to live longer, to have more time for immortality. Like, there's they called it like an immortal gene, right? The what they call it, the HeLa immortal gene, immortal cell. It's like it never dies, or it ages slower than other cells. And they found that in Henrietta Lacks. And that's the same gene that they found a trait in a lot of indigenous people. So they're like, okay, we got to study and figure out what the hell this is. Let's harvest this stuff. Let's get a whole bunch of their DNA, put it together, send it to these labs, and figure out, how can we put this ingredient, harvest this DNA, and harvest it, and put it into like the cosmetics, so that way we can make money. The cosmetic industry is billions, like multi-billion industry, like probably trillion, y'all. Like, all of this stuff is real. They're using your DNA, and they're not even giving y'all a cut. Like, how pissed would you be if you found out that they was using your specific DNA makeup, and this company is making billions of dollars, and they're not even giving you a penny? Won't you be pissed? They can't tell you that. They don't have to tell you, because once you get that DNA, once they get your DNA, your blood samples, or whatever, when you go to the doctor, when you go to the clinic, all of that stuff, they got your stuff. And according to that article I told y'all, the court order that said a person's discarded tissues and cells are not their property and can be commercialized, it's a wrap. It's not yours anymore. It doesn't belong to you. So when these agencies talk about, oh, well, we would never share it, they're lying. It's a scam, baby. It's a scam. And not only that, I think I forgot this point, but I honestly, this is my theory, okay? I believe that they have bio nanotechnology. Like, once they have your genetic makeup, they can track you. They can track you. Let's say, for instance, you become like a rebel against the government or whatever like that. They have your genetic makeup, baby. So if they really want to find you, they can find you. It don't matter if you off the grid. What if they have a technology that they can find you with just like your DNA? Satellites that can spot wherever you are in the world. Like that'll be wild. I know that's probably reaching, but I mean, come on, y'all. The technology that they have that we don't even know about is real out here. It's real. It's a lot of technology that they have that they're not even telling us about. Japan is like 10, 20 years ahead of us. But the American government don't want us to know that. Crystal Sullivan says chips. Yes, y'all think these chips is fake? There's people that already got these chips already. When they give y'all these immunizations, and which is a whole nother topic, I feel like they putting chips in y'all. Those micro nano chips. And they're following you. And they're tracking you. Sooner or later, we're going to need barcodes on us to fly. That barcode is going to be our passport. It's going to be our driver's license. It's going to be our bank card, our credit card. It's going to have our credit score. It's going to have everything up there. Our social security number, birth certificate. It's going to be a barcode. Simone Hardy said it's supposed to be mandatory chips in 2022. I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised. You feel me? Somebody said they put it in the water. Phone have chips. Yep. Listen, all of this is facts, y'all. So what do y'all think about this whole DNA thing? Like, I want to hear what y'all think. You feel me? There's 300 or something people in the building. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, family. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. I'm reading y'all comments right now. Lenny says UVC raises grounded level now. Cosmetic companies desperately need melanin. Their products aren't protected from the harsh rays. Sunscreen isn't working for them anymore. That sun is going crazy, and I think that's why they spraying them chemtrails, because they trying to block out the rays of the sun. Ashe. So my thing is this. Now, this is a really tricky topic, because I see some people in the chat room saying that they have already given their done the DNA test and stuff like that. It's like, okay, I done the DNA test. Like, what can I do now? Honestly, my thing will be this. I'm all about, like, now that you know better, do better. So I wouldn't send out my DNA anymore. You feel me? That's another thing. Like, I wouldn't interact with them anymore. I would contact them and just be like, you know what? Dispose of my stuff. I don't want you sharing my stuff with third parties. I mean, but it might be a little bit too late for that. My honest thing is just to protect yourself. Be smart moving forward. Tell other people about it, or warn other people about it, so other people won't make the same mistake. Herbert Scott says paternity test is a scam too. Yes, beloved, it is. It is. Simone says Henrietta Lacks was the start. They are looking for a way to create melanin for themselves, just like the brother said. Deidre says they cannot unlock your DNA codes. They are not the creator. And Deidre, listen, let me tell you, beloved, I agree they are not the creator, but you got these scientists that's out here now trying to play God. And I feel like that's what's wrong with a lot of these scientists, is like they want to be God. They want to define nature. Like, they want to be nature. And what happens is when you try to dominate nature, nature will dominate you. And why y'all think all of this stuff is happening in the world? You feel me? Like earthquakes and natural disasters, and these volcanoes are erupting. Like, Pele is pissed off. Like, it's a lot of stuff that's going on right now in the world, and that they don't broadcast on the news. And y'all need to stop watching those mainstream news, because it's propaganda and lies. There are certain bloodlines that are very rare, and that's why they're doing all of these tests, because once they got your bloodline, they realize, like, oh, who the hell you are, what genetic makeup you got. You feel me? If you got the blood of the gods, the Anunnaki, the Nephilim, like, they're gonna be like, oh, hell no, we gotta keep tabs on her, we gotta keep tabs on him, we gotta figure out what they up to. Like, some of y'all probably got a picture somewhere and they stalking y'all asses. Like, I'm not even being funny. Y'all think it's a gang. Y'all gotta research. It's a show. It's on Netflix. It's called The Tomorrow People. It's actually really good. It's about, like, these kids that are born with mutations, but they have, like, telepathic abilities, like psychic abilities. Like, they can bend things with their mind. They can read minds. They can teleport. They can do a lot of superhuman things. However, there's, like, a government agency that's after them. Even that movie, I think it's called Looper. No, is it Jump? No, is it Looper or Jumper? I think it's Jumper. It's a Jumper. Yeah, Jumper. I get them confused, but Looper is like when he could time travel, I think. But Jumper was a really good movie. Jumper. I am number 4. I'm giving y'all a whole bunch of homework, y'all, resources y'all need to check out. But yeah, but that's my sense on it, family. I don't want to hold y'all too long. I just wanted to give y'all my 2 cents on it. Why I think you guys should not do the DNA test. It's a scam. Not only are you wasting money, but you're also risking your life, not only of yourselves but your children. Because then it's like once they find out, you feel me, your genetic makeup, then they could also get an understanding of what your children are made up of. You feel me? Your children, your parents before you. Like, you could do a lot with DNA. And I'm telling y'all, even though that's your specific makeup, they can pretty much find other stuff too. So, anyway, family, I'm not going to hold y'all. Thank you, everybody, for interacting in the live. I gave y'all tons of information. I hope y'all wrote this down. I am going to post the video up. I know they was doing some glitches and messing up the video earlier, but hopefully everything posts just fine. Um, but thank you everybody who donated. Thank you everybody. Don't forget to thumbs up this video before you leave. And yeah, and drop your comments down in the comment section if you're watching this after the live. You feel me? And I'm going to respond to your comments and stuff as fast as I can. But until next time, family, do your research, be smart, spread this information with others so others could be aware of what's really going on. Okay? Knowledge is power. So until next time, family, subscribe, hit that bell, hit that thumbs up, and comment and let me know what you think about this whole ancestry DNA stuff. Okay. Until next time, family, Conjure Queen signing out. Peace.